Thanks for tuning in to the Portland Real Estate Journal. This is Nick Shivers here at Keller Williams Realty, Portland, Central, serving Oregon and Southwest Washington. CNN headline, Housing Bubble Is Brewing. And we know CNN tells the truth all the time. Okay, so let's dive in. A lot of volatility in the market, supply chains issues, building costs soaring, interest rates soaring. So we're gonna dive into this, and I'm gonna kind of give you some of my ideas. So what we're seeing is affordability disappearing. When you're at 3% and home prices are skyrocketing, it's not as big a deal because your monthly payment is significantly lower. But now we're in the 5%, 4.9 to 5.2, depending on the day. So think of this. A year ago, let's say that you could have got an interest rate at 3%. Now you're at 5%. If you could afford a $500,000 home, remember each percentage point increase in interest rate is and this is real estate math, about a 10% decrease in purchasing power. So if you're at 3 and we're now at 5, now you can afford a $400,000 home. Unfortunately, home prices have not went down. Historic prices across the country, okay? Lack of inventory, lowest in history. So supply issues there. So let's look at those two things. Historically, when interest rates go up, what that does, that temporarily spurs the market. A thing called FOMO, the fear of missing out. And the Fed has said, we're gonna continue to raise interest rates. So what I predict is this, it's proven. We have a property in Washington that I think we had 27 offers and it got $92,000 over asking price. We had a property in Salem that got $100,000 over asking price. So the market is hot. Even with interest rates going up, the market is hot. But historically, long-term, interest rates rising and they're predicted to continue to rise, that will slow down the market long-term because that's what the Fed's trying to do. They're trying to slow down borrowing and spending, okay? But historically, we haven't seen this lack of supply. And why I think that's going to continue, especially on the resale, is this. If you have an interest rate of 3% and now you're at 5 and you're thinking about maybe making a small upgrade, it doesn't make sense financially. So why not just get a remodel? Because now you're going from an upgrade plus an interest rate increase of 2%, which we know that's about a 20% increase or decrease in your purchasing power. So that will keep supply down. Demand is like this, but it's gonna taper off because of affordability issues. So will we see a bubble like CNN says? Well, let's talk about a couple things that are different. Massive equity across the nation. Massive equity across the nation, meaning 40% of all homeowners own their homes outright completely, and another 32% have at least 50% equity. So we will not see that massive drop if we see a drop at all. So fourth quarter, we could see a definite flat line, maybe a little bit of depreciation, depending on what happens with the interest rates. But our supply is not going to go down. The other aspect, 33% of all homes purchased in America are purchased by investors, meaning people that are buying properties to use them as rentals, because rental prices are pacing same thing with home values. So investors, and they come in with cash. So between those two, I do not see a crash. I will say long-term, say that we will see a slowdown, and expecting double-digit appreciation, 20%, 18%. I just don't see that happening going in the future with interest rates dropping down. So again, some good news, some bad news, but if you're a seller, the fact is, if you want to maximize historic values, I would say probably through the summer is your window of opportunity if you're gonna sell. So hopefully that gives you some good insight. Until next time, this is Nick Shivers, I'm out.